All right, I say we get started. I think we've got just about everybody here. Thank you everybody for attending today. My name is Rob Solberg, and I'm the director of social here at JumpCrew. We are a full-service social media marketing company. We currently employ about 100 super talented and really creative people who work really hard to support our clients from our headquarters here in Nashville, Tennessee. If you have any questions during this webinar, please feel free to ask them in the sidebar there on your right probably, and I will do my best to address them at the end. If I don't cover your questions, if we run out of time at the end of the presentation, I promise myself or somebody on my team will reach out very quickly and make themselves available to you for questions and hopefully some answers. So thank you very much again for taking the time out of your super busy days to talk with me about social media marketing. So what are we talking about today? We're going to talk about your social media reputation. Social media is a fantastic place to showcase your business or brand, and I'm betting you know that, or we probably wouldn't be here today together. The downside of social media marketing is that if you aren't constantly monitoring those channels, it's very easy for your online reputation to be damaged. You have to be proactive and you have to take action to monitor and respond to comments and reviews and work hard to guard and protect your brand. So here's today's agenda. It's pretty straightforward. We're going to cover 4 big ticket items. Number 1, why does social reputation matter? Some ideas and points to consider for monitoring your social presence. We'll talk about the importance of responding to comments and reviews, good and bad, and how to emphasize maintaining a positive reputation. That's sort of the goal, so let's talk about that. Let's get started. Social media is a crazy place. I think we all agree there. It is really fast moving and it's constantly changing. So what are people saying about you? What is the conversation around your business or brand really like? And what is business reputation? It's the sentiment people feel towards your brand or business. It's the way your current and past customers feel about you. And it is the barometer by which your future clients will probably make buying decisions. These future clients are now just prospects, but they're busy assessing your reputation before they even qualify you as someone they want to do business with. And a lot of times they do that by checking you out on social media. Social media is the new word of mouth, and it is the primary mouthpiece for you and your brand these days. Why does it matter? More so now than ever, people are using social media to vet and assess businesses and brands' authority. People are making buying decisions based on cues and indicators they find about you on social media. And in a lot of cases, they're deciding before they even pick up the phone whether or not you are an authority and somebody they want to do business with. Your digital reputation dramatically impacts whether or not people will do business with you. Recognize the importance of social media and ensure you're doing everything you can to paint your business and brand in the best light. Obviously, you want your business to look as fantastic as you know it is, possibly everywhere people look. It's common sense, but it's really complicated. So let's break it down. Step 1, be alert and be aware. Keep your eyes open, monitor for potential problems by staying active and by being consistent on social media. Be aware of all comments and reviews and don't be scared to interact with them. You work hard to create engagements on your social channels, so take the time to respond to them. Express genuine concern for clients who have had a bad experience and do your best to assist them. Respond to your positive reviews as well and let customers know you appreciate them as much as they appreciate you. But importantly, be authentic, be you, and be attentive. Work to put a program in place that solicits reviews. Ask your clients to leave them. Those 5-star reviews are so important when prospects are researching your business, so don't be afraid to ask happy customers for reviews. Negative reviews. Don't freak out about negative reviews. Here's my suggestion. Here's our suggestion in JumpCrew. Here's what we do. Jump in and take action. A lot of times people just want to be heard. Social media is a great place for customer support, and there's an expectation that you be present and respond. Allow them to be heard and then respond. 83% of Facebook users expect a same-day response to comments. Check this out. 42% of users expect a response within 1 hour. How long is it taking you to respond to comments and reviews? How long is it taking your employees and staff to respond? Are these data points meeting your clients' and future clients' expectations? I hope it doesn't happen often, but there's always a chance. You'll have a social media crisis that needs to be managed. So my strong suggestion is that you have a plan. Don't get caught without a plan to take action. Don't panic, more importantly. Mistakes happen, just have a plan. Here's some ideas. Have a crisis management plan in place, number one. Have an action plan. Create communication guidelines. Pause your scheduled posts. Pause what you have going out so you can give your full attention to the problem. Post an explanation or an apology on your social profiles and your website, and be ready and available to field feedback and comments. Be ready and available, I think, is the most important bullet on this slide. I said it earlier and I'll say it again. Make yourself available, be present and attentive. The situation will probably change quickly and often, so be prepared for every step along the way. It's over. The crisis is over. Couldn't possibly last forever. That's the great news. But what did you learn? What did you learn from these events? Did you gather any data? Or have you thought? Are you learning how to avoid problems in the future? Assess and optimize the existing plan based on what just happened. These are wonderful learning opportunities for your team. So take a breath and take notes. Write it all down. What worked and what didn't, and revise your plan of action accordingly. How about this? Let's just prevent a crisis. Let's avoid it altogether. Here are some tips for the team at JumpCrew on how to avoid a crisis. Designate a social media lead. Put someone in the role of managing your social profiles. Have a specific designated person in charge. Check the reputation of your partners, brands you interact with regularly, vendor partners, sister companies. What do their channels look like? What is your assessment of their reputation? And is yours even in the same ballpark? Create clear internal guidelines. Put parameters around managing your social channels when you post, how quickly you expect responses to comments and reviews, etc. And then train your staff on these policies and procedures. Get everyone on the same page and work as a team to get the job done. Have one person in charge, but collaborate as a group and work together. And monitor your mentions. Again, respond to comments and reviews every time. I can't even emphasize that enough. This is mission critical. Monitor your engagements and interact with your fans. There's a real trick to managing your social profiles. A big step in managing your reputation on social is making your profiles active properties. Keep your profiles updated and alive. We use content calendars here at JumpCrew. Bullet number one, create an editorial calendar. We call it a content calendar. It's a schedule of posts several weeks in advance for our clients. So we have a really clear and actionable plan for the month. So we're not just throwing posts up because we're expected to. So it helps us stay organized, spell check and fact check everything, and prepare for press releases and company events beforehand. Get those things on your content calendar first and in advance, and then backfill with posts and content from there. Think about your upcoming events and milestones, plug them in first, and then fill in the gaps. A content calendar makes it really easy to create content that's thoughtful and engaging. Use a calendar. This seems so basic, but you cannot believe how many people don't do it. Spell check. Check your punctuation. I don't want to eat at a restaurant or hire an electrician or take my dog to an animal clinic who doesn't know the difference between there, and there. This kind of stuff can damage your social media character. It doesn't look good. So pay attention to the details because everybody else is. Be consistent. Your clients will learn your voice and style, and they will relate that to you and your product. So again, be authentic and be you. Be sure your accounts are accessible and easy to find by keeping your handles the same or very similar across all of your channels. Maintain brand consistency. Use the same logo, for example. In summary, keep it consistent and keep it clean. Reviews and your business information are visible on multiple places online and should all tell the same story. There are hundreds and hundreds of online directories out there that aggregate data about your business, primarily your name, address, and phone number, also called NAP data. Does everybody remember Foursquare? Do you remember the app Foursquare, where you could check into your favorite coffee shop or Chinese restaurant a million times and become the mayor of the coffee shop, and you were super proud and worked really hard to maintain that status? Did you know that Foursquare still exists? And its purpose right now is as a data catalog of business information for developers to build apps and web tools on. Well, when was the last time you checked your business listing on Foursquare? You don't. Nobody does. But you need to find tools that help you manage these listings and centralize the data so you can ensure you're consistent across the internet in general. This is SEO 101. Consistent presence is critical. Get people excited. With the recent changes to the algorithm at Facebook, it is now more important than ever to get people excited and talking about your business. Mark Zuckerberg's phrase of the hour at the big Facebook press event a couple weeks ago was meaningful conversations. Create quality content that encourages conversation. After these big changes at Facebook, less is definitely more. So don't post 5 times a day, post once and make it great. Create unique content, use behind the scenes exclusives, and make sure your followers feel like a part of your team. So to summarize, be authentic and be accessible. I've said it a million times. Encourage reviews. That's a big barometer when people are making buying decisions. Make sure to respond to the negative ones, negative reviews with understanding and an answer. Plan ahead and keep your page organized. Have a plan in case a crisis arises, and more importantly, use all available resources to solidify your brand and get exposure. That is, after all, the point of the game. I want to thank everybody for coming to this webinar. I hope it was helpful. I hope I didn't go too quickly. I hope you learned something. I hope you have an added fact for your toolkit. To thank everyone who attended. So I'm going to give everybody a couple minutes, more accurately a few seconds, to write some questions if you have any. I'd love the opportunity to answer some questions, and if we don't have time today, by all means, I'll have somebody reach out to you to answer these questions for you. Here's a great question. How much time do I need to spend on monitoring my social pages? I don't have much time now. I agree. I don't have a lot of time either. I think everybody on the call right now, I'm imagining we're very busy people with operational responsibilities and so forth. So I would say, as a rule of thumb, checking in at least once a day is certainly sufficient. Any more than that, I think it gets a little risky. Our account managers typically check in first thing in the morning and then right before they go home. We usually check twice a day, but I think if you check once a day, generally first thing in the morning, that's a pretty safe place to start. Another good question. You said, apparently I said that unique content is important. I think that it is. Is there an easy way to consistently create new and interesting posts? Boy, no. Is the short answer. I wish there was. I wish there was. If you find out, please let me know. I have a team of account managers who create content every day who would love this magic bullet. There's not. It's very difficult. I would say though that use a content calendar. I think the hardest thing to do is to sit down at your workstation on a Wednesday, because it's the day you always post on Facebook, and you're going to do a post today, and you sit down and you go, today is the day I'm going to post. What do I write about? You do this all the time, don't you? It doesn't work. So put a content calendar together. Spend a couple minutes the first day of the month and look at all the milestones and projects you have throughout the month. You'd be surprised when you start putting them down on a calendar how little filling of gaps you have to do. You probably have a couple things a week that you should be talking about. So take pause in the beginning of the month and take inventory of all these events and milestones, put them in the calendar, and then fill in the gaps with interesting things that engage your audience. Yeah, good question. Do the directory listings help my SEO? And the answer is yes. The directory listings definitely help your SEO. Directory management really is the foundation of SEO, search engine optimization. Step one, it really is getting all of those directories consistent and making sure the data is accurate. The last thing you want is someone Googling your business or using Yahoo to find you, and the hours of operation are wrong, and you're closed on a Saturday, and they show up to do business with you on Saturday, they're not going to be happy campers. So yes, make sure all of the directories are advertising accurate information about your business. Absolutely. Okay, guys, there are a couple more questions. I don't want to take up too much more of your time. I know that everybody's exceedingly busy. I'd love the opportunity to talk further with you. Those who have asked questions, I will have someone reach out. We'll get some answers. I want to thank everyone again for their time today, spending a couple minutes with me, talking about social reputation. I hope it was interesting. I hope you had a good time, and I hope we can speak in the future. Thank you again for the opportunity.